What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Today, I want to talk to you about the movie Knives Out from 2019. This was directed by Rian Johnson and I believe written by him as well. And this stars a whole bunch of people. You will definitely recognize at least one actor from this movie, probably most of the actors in this movie. It has Daniel Craig, Christopher Plummer, Chris Evans, Don Johnson, Jamie Lee Curtis. The main character is played by an actress I did not recognize. Ana de Armas, I believe is how you pronounce her name. There's also the lady who is in season 1 of 13 Reasons Why, which is a series I have not watched, but I am aware of it. Also, Michael Shannon is in it. The lady who is in Garfunkel and Oates, not the shorter lady, but the taller blonde lady, she's in it. A whole bunch of actors that you are going to recognize here. And this is a classic murder mystery, and that's it. I absolutely adore this movie. This is one of my favorite movies right now. I have only seen it once. I only finished watching it about 30 minutes ago, and I love this film. Now, I do want to talk spoilers about it, so if you have not seen this movie, what are you doing here? Go watch this movie. Go buy it and watch it. I have heard that Rian Johnson is going to be doing Knives Out 2, and I am super excited about that, so I am going to definitely watch that movie. But right now, if you have not seen this movie, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. If you trust my word whenever I review stuff, I am telling you that this movie is fantastic. If you like murder mysteries, you will like this. I am always a fan of well-done murder mysteries. Growing up, I would watch various murder mysteries. I was never very good at solving them, but I always enjoyed them, and this one is at the top of the pile as far as I'm concerned. Now, having said that, I hope that if you haven't seen it, that you have turned off the video, and or you just don't care about spoilers. But I watched a video after I saw the movie, and I want to say, thankfully, I had not encountered any spoilers for this movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I only just saw it today, and somehow I did not encounter any spoilers at all in the several months in between it coming out and me watching it. And so I'm really happy about that. Really, really glad that I did not encounter any spoilers, because while this is still a very well put together movie, I would have enjoyed it a lot less if I knew the culprit going into it. So I was really glad to be thoroughly surprised by who actually did the deed here. And what's interesting here is that there are several layers of who did what in this movie. So like I said, going to be talking some spoilers here, but you've got Christopher Plummer, who is the patriarch of a very large, manipulative, very filthy rich family. And at the opening of the movie, like 10 seconds in, one of the housekeepers walks in and finds that he has seemingly slit his throat. And then we find out about half an hour into the movie that his nurse accidentally injected him with like 100 units of some kind of medication that she was only supposed to give him 3 units of. And so he puts together this plan so that she will seemingly be eliminated among the suspects, and then he will slit his throat so that the toxicology report will not reveal that he was poisoned. Everyone will say, okay, clearly he committed suicide, and then she will not be a suspect because her mom is an illegal immigrant, and if she is arrested, then her mom will probably be deported, and it's all a big ugly mess. And so he does this to help her, and then everyone in the family just about had a motive for killing him because they were all going to be removed from the will. And so the movie, I watched a video, sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. I watched a video by a YouTube channel that I have talked about before, and I've suggested that you guys go watch his videos, Just Right. He talks about writing, the mechanics of being a writer, and he does these really great videos that you should go watch. He did 2 videos talking about Knives Out, and in one of them, he talked about how Knives Out actually changes the genre twice. It starts out as a murder mystery where you are following the story from the point of view of the detective, played by Daniel Craig, and then it changes into a crime story where you are following the story from the point of view of a criminal who has committed some crime and is trying to get away with it, played by Ana de Armas, and then it becomes a detective story once again where we are following things from the point of view of the detective. That is the premise of his video that he did about a month ago talking about Knives Out, and I didn't watch that video until after I watched the movie. And I will say I agree agree with functionally what he was saying. He is not wrong saying that that's what the movie did, except that, and like I said, I did not know who the bad guy was in this movie. I didn't find that out until the movie tells me about 15 minutes towards the end. But at the beginning, or near the beginning, whenever Marta, that's the nurse, whenever she first is experiencing her flashback where we are finding out that she has accidentally poisoned him, she's looking in her bag for the counter agent that will save Christopher Plummer's life, and she can't find it. She says, it's supposed to be in here, it's not in here. And so I thought the movie was telegraphing pretty hard that somebody swapped out the medicine that she gave to Christopher Plummer, and they took the anti-medicine from her bag so that she would effectively poison Christopher Plummer. I thought that she figured that out, and she was going to tell Daniel Craig, yes, I poisoned him, but somebody took the counter agent, whatever it's called, and I thought they were going to be working together to figure out who actually tried to force her to kill Christopher Plummer. And the movie doesn't do that. I am actually very glad that it didn't, because I was on the edge of my seat throughout most of the movie, but especially in the middle half whenever she is trying to throw Daniel Craig off the trail because she's afraid that he is going to figure out that she did what she did. And there are several moments where I was like, oh no, what's going on here? What's going to happen? But just right, he kind of talks about this movie as if the movie has convinced the audience that she did this and she's just trying to cover everything up, which she thinks that she did this and she is trying to cover stuff up, but I don't know. I'm not trying to say that I'm like a brilliant person who figured it out, because like I said, I didn't know who the real culprit was, and there is a real culprit beyond Marta, the nurse. But I did think that somebody had tried to manufacture Marta as being the killer, and that is what the movie does. Huge spoilers, but we find out, actually, you know what, not huge spoilers, I'll just say someone in the family did try to set up Marta as being the killer, and just right, if you go and watch his video where he talks about how it changes genres twice, he suggests that the movie is able to convince you that she is the one who did it, and then she's just trying to cover everything up. And I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, maybe other people felt this way, but I didn't feel like the movie had convinced me of that. I felt like the movie had convinced me that she thought that she was in trouble, that her mom was in danger of being deported, but I didn't think that she was the only one, if you will. I was pretty sure pretty early on that she thought that she had done something bad, but I was pretty sure at first that she knew that someone had tampered with her bag and taken some of the medicine. And I was pretty sure pretty soon that we were going to be investigating who did that. And then the movie keeps dragging me along for this very entertaining story, and I wasn't disappointed with what it did. I was very happy with the direction the movie went, but I wasn't fooled at that point. Whenever she accidentally injects him and then she's going through the bag and she starts crying, I knew immediately, okay, somebody took whatever she needs to save his life. And then I wasn't disappointed. Like I said, I keep saying that because I don't want to make it sound like I'm so smart, I figured this out, and the movie should have done X, Y, and Z, because I love this movie, but I don't think that the movie, and it's one of those weird things, it's a tightrope, because I've talked before about fair play mysteries, where you have to lay out all of the clues so that the audience, if they are interested in figuring it out, and if they're smart enough, they can solve the mystery around the same time or shortly before the detective solves the mystery. And I think that this movie is a fair play mystery. I would have to watch it again and really pay attention, but as the denouement takes place, that's when the detective is going through everything. As that is taking place, they start to lay out the clues that have been laid out in the movie, and I started to say to myself, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm rattled right now. It's late for me. I enjoyed this movie. Like I said, if you are still here and for some reason you listen to me go through all of that and you have not seen the movie, please go watch it. I really love this movie. It was worth all the hype. I had seen a lot of people talk this movie up, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting, and I will definitely watch it. And I'm really glad that I had not spoiled myself before watching this movie. So that is all that I have to say about about Knives Out. Looking forward to Knives Out 2. Right now, it cannot come soon enough, and I know it's going to be like 2021 or 2022 when it comes out, and that is way too far away right now. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the sequel. Looking forward to seeing what happens there, and I'm assuming it's just going to be another Daniel Craig mystery with an entirely new cast of characters, but that would be fine with me. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope that you guys like this video, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back in the future with another video. In the meantime, have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.